Thank you. Hello, welcome to the GLP-1 Hub podcast. I'm Anna Reisdorf, registered dietitian, GLP-1 user. Today we have the story of a woman named Bryana who used GLP-1s to lose a significant amount of weight, but also it encouraged her to start a whole new career. So we're going to hear about her and her story and how, GLP-1 gave her the confidence to really take on a new direction in life. And during the episode, we talk about an app called the Me Again app. It is an app that helps you track particularly your protein, fiber, and hydration, which I find to be the most important things for GLP-1 users. So if you're interested in trying out the app, you can get a link in the show notes. Also, we have text messages from our listeners. Now, I want to let you know that I cannot respond to the text messages unless you give me a way to contact you. When the texts come through, it blocks out your phone number, so I can't text you back or respond. A great way would be to just leave your email address within your text, and I will write you back. Or you can always email me at hello@glp-1hub.com, and I can answer any questions you have. Today's text comes from someone in Junction City, Kansas, and she is concerned about the safety of compound GLP-1s. So compound GLP-1s are made at compounding pharmacies and are not the kind of GLP-1 that you would get made by Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk. So it's not the branded GLP-1. And I will say, yes, compound GLP-1s are safe with a huge asterisk. It really depends where they are coming from. So you want to be sure that whatever company you're buying them from is using either a 503A or a 503B compounding pharmacy. These are places that are regulated and regularly visited by the regulatory boards and controlled by the FDA for how they're functioning and the cleanliness and their practices and things like that. The FDA also maintains a website that you can visit, and I'll put it in the show notes, where you can look up if the pharmacy has any issues or problems or concerns against it. So that's another way to double check. If you want more information about compounding medications, I encourage you to listen to episode number 7 of the podcast with Tana Donaldson. The issue with this whole world of compound GLP-1s is that it's a very dynamic industry right now because the FDA keeps changing the regulations. So they said it was completely banned, and then there were some workarounds, and now they put the hammer down on other types of compounds. So it's very hard with a weekly podcast like this to stay on top of all of the changes in this industry. But, I will put some of those references and resources for you so you can do some of the research on whether the place you're thinking about getting them from is safe. So I'm happy to try to answer any questions about compounding medications to the best of my ability, but I am not a physician, so I would recommend you speak to your doctor about any questions or concerns for the most up-to-date information and the best thing for you. Finally, if you are enjoying the podcast, please don't forget to leave a review. And if you need more support on your GLP-1 journey, make sure you check out our GLP-1 Hub store, where I have tons of resources that will help you dial in your nutrition and make sure that this journey is helping you be the healthiest that you can be. And let's get on with the show. All right. Welcome to the GLP-1 Hub podcast. I want to welcome Bryana today to the podcast. She is going to come on and share her personal GLP-1 story. And I love these types of episodes because I love sharing cool things that are happening in people's lives. So can you tell us a little bit more about you and what you do for a living and how you started on this journey?
Yeah, so I'm Bree, so I'm 26. I've been taking a GLP-1 for the past, I would say 7 to 8 months. So I'm down 30 pounds, which is really amazing. And I was working as a server when I first started a GLP-1. I was working 50-hour weeks. I was just going. And it was before GLP-1 too, I was exhausted, not knowing that was extra weight too. So I was constantly just exhausted every single day, really fatigued. And I didn't realize that played a huge role probably with all my hormones, everything before GLP-1.
Right. And so what made you decide to like start on the GLP-1? Like, why did you think that that was a good option for you?
So I was saw like I was going through TikTok and I saw tons of different people talking about a GLP-1, and I went on vacation with Aruba with a couple of friends, and her husband actually started a GLP-1 like 2 months prior, and he was talking about his experience, and it was like he lost already 25, 30 pounds, and I'm like, maybe that will help me get into the motion because I constantly on my feet working out. As a server, I was going to the gym, I was eating somewhat healthy to an extent, but, um, especially serving, you're eating greasy, fried food all the time because it's free, so, uh, basically, he kinda talked about his experience, and then after the vacation, I, like, saw photos of yourself, and you're like, "I kinda wanna fix that," and then yeah.
And so, do you mind sharing how much weight you've lost since in the last 7, 8 months?
Around 30 pounds now. And I'm 5'1", so I started off, I think it was around 190, but I carry weight a lot differently than someone who's like 5'10", so even like 5 pounds is a lot on me.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So you were already active because you were working as a server. And then did it make you be more active or like what were some of the changes that you made with the GLP-1 in terms of your lifestyle?
At work, I would eat any food that was basically available when you have a chance, and the food noise I felt went
Mhm.
down so much, so I actually cooked meals prior and threw that in the fridge instead of just eating what they had at work. I felt like I was more conscious into actually, like, cooking healthy meals instead of just coming home, snacking right away, and then cooking, and then snacking while I eat, and then I eat, like, 2 hours later because it was, like, constantly so hungry, and I felt like that noise went down a lot, and I was
Mm.
a lot more mindful of what I was eating, what I was cooking. Like, I didn't really crave any greasy food anymore. That actually kinda made me a little nauseous, so it was kinda nice where I stopped that, and then also being in a service industry, a lot of people drink all the time, so that was a huge thing that I noticed where I didn't crave alcohol anymore, and I kinda stopped drinking altogether. So it was a huge style
Wow.
change.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know that it's one of the like things they're researching is alcohol and like nicotine addiction and using GLP-1 to help people stop drinking. So like is it that the alcohol makes you sick now or you just don't really want it or like why is it that you think that that changed?
When I first started, I got really sick even off one drink, and then I just stopped craving it, and then every time I drank it, it was just like I didn't really get that happy feeling, like, where it was social, I felt like it was kinda related to that in a sense, but it kinda tamed down, like, why am I drinking, understanding why I was drinking just to fit in with certain people, and I'm like, "I that's just not me anymore." I felt like I
Mhm.
grew a lot as a person, and then I was also vaping too when I was drinking, so I completely stopped that over 8 months, so I haven't hit a nicotine in almost 8 months, which was really huge for me. Especially in college, that's what we all did. That's when vape
Wow.
really gotten, like, introduced, so
Interesting. That was I think the vape was, like, a little bit after my generation, I'm 45, so, like, that wasn't nobody really did that. I remember the first time I saw one of those vape cigarettes, like, I didn't even know what it was,
mhm.
because it wasn't really a thing when I was younger,
Yeah, it was right in
so it's just
college when
interesting
it
that you say that
introduced
that was, like, a thing people did in college.
yeah, they introduced that, like, the Jill was huge, like,
Mhm.
my freshman year of college. I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Hmm, it kinda was kinda nice," and then it was, like, nice and fruity, and then you get hooked on that, and you're like, "Why am I" yes.
Right. Yeah. We used to occasionally go to, like, a hookah place when I was in college. They still have those hookah bars somewhere, but that's, like, flavored tobacco, it's not the
Mhm.
same. It's probably not good for you. I would not
Probably
recommend
not
people
the
do that.
smoking all those chemicals.
Yes. Yeah. So, you were able to, like, kinda not wanna do the greasy food, not wanna do the alcohol anymore, and, like, the vaping and all of that. So, do you feel like that gave you more time to, like, focus on this new career path that you're on?
100%, like, because I was drinking probably 5 nights a week. It was just like I worked 5 times, and that's what we did after our shifts was, like, "Let's go to the bar and socialize," and that was just huge in service industry, and then when I stopped doing that, I came home and worked for 5
Mhm.
hours on my business, and it was more time to focus into myself, and then also getting out of a relationship. And I felt like I just had so much time to put into myself besides drinking and doing other things that weren't really good for me.
Right. And so right now you're doing like content creation. Can you tell me a little bit about like what you're doing with the content creation? Is it like, I think you mentioned something about UGC?
Yeah, so right now I work with an app. It's called Me Again. It's actually for GLP-1 users. So I actually make content for that app where because I was documenting my journey on TikTok, and that's how I found the owner of the app, and he introduced me to, like, trying to promote his app, and then I used it for a little bit, and I loved it, so I was like, "Let's do it." So, basically, I make anywhere between 8 to 15-second TikToks about, like, different things that I relate to, if it's, like, my hair loss journey and eating more protein or different things where you can track in the app, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the app is really cool. It has a lot of fun sort of features and allows you to track like the important things. So talk to me about the hair loss. Like what was your experience there? You just mentioned that.
Yeah, so when I first started, I would say the first 3 months, I was not tracking my protein intake at all. I saw that online too, and I realized in the shower I had like big clumps of hair. And then I was doing more research into upping your
Uh-oh.
protein, making sure you actually eat enough. I think that was a huge thing where I wasn't actually eating enough, and that kind of catches up to you. And after the third month, I'm like, I need to do something different. And then I did some hair supplements, multivitamins that definitely helped me.
Yeah, I think that that's people are like, "Why am I losing my hair?" And I'm like, "Well, because you're eating 300 calories a day." So your body is going to be like, "No, we're not doing that." So I think they wanna blame a lot of times they wanna blame the medicine, but
Mm,
it's really not. It's like your calorie intake in your diet,
mhm.
and then we have, like, a backwards way of thinking too in that, we think, "Oh, we'll eat less and we'll lose faster." But there's, like, consequences of that, like the hair loss, which isn't, like, deadly, but there are consequences that are actually serious that if you lose weight too quickly. As a busy mom and business owner, I really need something quick and efficient to get my nutrition in for the day. I don't need another shake or powdered greens to mix up. I don't need something that requires me to take time out of my day or worry about taking it with a meal. I need something that's portable and convenient to take on my own time. Grunes does just that. Grunes are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into 8 gummies a day. It isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price, and bonus, it tastes great. If you want to give Grunes a try, you can get up to 52% off your order when you use GLP-1 Hub Pod at Grunes.co. That's GLP, the number one hub pod at Grunes, GRUNS.co.
I did like the keto diet and I lost a lot of weight, and that was me not eating enough. And I also lost hair. It was due to the weight loss, and I kind of correlated that. And then I gained a lot of weight back because it was so restrictive. And I think that's why I love the GLP-1 because you're not really restricting what you eat, you're just very more mindful of what you consume compared to, like, the keto diet, if that makes sense. So, like, I noticed the same hair loss, I wasn't eating as much, and when I restricted myself that much, when you get off that diet, you eat literally everything, and I think that was I struggle, I think, with binge eating a little bit where it's very restrictive and then you eat a lot, and that was a couple months of overeating, and then realizing with a GLP-1 where I actually can be more mindful of what I eat and not really restricting, I can't eat that. I really listen to my body. I think that's a huge difference between any other fad diet.
Yeah. That's what I personally really like about it is that you can just trust your body's eating, not always, like sometimes you really need to push yourself to eat a little bit more, like especially for protein for me, like on the days near my shot, I feel like I have to kind of force myself to eat a little bit more protein or whatever. But as the week goes on, like it kind of stops me from that overeating place. Like I feel like I eat the right amount finally.
Yeah, like when I go to a restaurant, like I would eat the whole meal. I'm like, I just have to eat it all. I think that's also like my childhood. You have to eat everything on your plates. And then I kind of built that relationship and understanding like I should eat and felt guilty for not eating all that. And then realizing, oh, I can actually take stuff home. I think it's more of a mental thing too that I had to work through where it was like, it's okay to stop.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think that that's like a lot of us are told to like clean our plate or not waste food or like whatever message we have or like w- we're paying for it. You don't want to like waste something you're paying for. So, like there's a lot of reasons why we overeat and it tastes good sometimes too.
Yes, definitely. Where all the
So,
greasy fried cheese curds in Wisconsin are like, you're gonna eat it all.
yes. Yes, definitely. So in terms of like where you are now, so when you're focused on your diet and your lifestyle, like what are the main things that you're trying to accomplish each day, like in terms of protein or vitamins or balanced diet or anything like that?
So one thing I found, I did like a nitric oxide testing because I struggled so much with chronic fatigue and I found I was really low on that. So I've been taking that every single day and that has helped me so much. That one I've been also taking like a multivitamin
Hmm.
here. Like I think it's Mary Ruth. I love that. And then also protein, making sure I do like a protein coffee in the morning just because I love my caffeine, make sure I get at least protein in every meal. So I felt like that has helped me so much and just understanding where each protein.
Definitely. And what dose are you on right now?
I'm on the lowest one. I felt like every time I tried to increase the dosage, I was not doing okay. Like I was like really tired. So I realized just the smaller dosage is perfect.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, they recommend going up, but I was like, I'm still losing weight. I'm not really gaining weight. So I didn't really want to increase it after I just 2 weeks of trying it. I'm like, I'll just go back.
Wow. So you've been able to lose all the weight on just the lowest dose?
Yeah, I think my body's really receptive to it. Cause I know everyone's so different. Like sometimes it takes people 2, 3 months to see any weight loss. Mine was like instant. I'm like, my face would swell up and after like a week I could just tell the difference too on it.
Wow. That's great. That's awesome because not everybody is a super responder.
Yeah.
And I think that ideally you should stay on the lowest dose possible. Like I've only gone up to 7.5 once to lose the last 5 pounds that I wanted to lose. And then I've been on 5 and like now I'm starting to spread my shots out because I just don't really need to lose anymore. But I would be on 2.5, but my insurance doesn't cover half doses. So I have to stay on the 5. Yeah. It's stupid. So what is your plan like long term? Are you at your goal? Like what do you want to do with this long term?
I still want to lose around 10 more pounds. I feel like that would be just perfect for me. So staying on the lowest dose and just keeping more of an active lifestyle. I think since working from home, I haven't been really getting my steps in. So I've been really trying to be mindful of at least getting my 10,000 steps in or going to the gym to try to get some of my muscle back that I wish I was lifting weights during the first 8 months.
Yeah. The first time I wasn't as structured with my weight training too. And I started like really seeing it like right in here, like the arm flab. And my kids would like laugh. They'd be like, oh, it's so funny. It feels so funny. And I'm like, it's not funny. It's not funny. But I started doing like more intense weight training. And I feel like it's better now. I feel like it's not
It
so flabby.
firms it up for sure. Like, oh, I actually have some muscles poking through. I'm not used to seeing that. And your collarbone. I'm like, wow, I have
Yeah.
a collarbone.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what about in your personal life? Have people been supportive? Have they been critical? Like, how has that journey been?
So when I first started, I had mostly my friends where I lived. So they were really supportive. I lost a couple friends just because I didn't really go out drinking as much. So I think that played a huge role where some people are just your going out buddies and then some people are actually real friends. So I think it kind of made me realize who was who, which was kind of cool. And then my family, they're very supportive. My mom's also on a GLP-1, so we talk about any struggles if we've had any.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, I mean, it's kind of good to know who your real friends are and who they aren't, I guess.
Like, you're not going to the bars. Okay, I haven't heard from you in 6 months. Okay.
Yes, definitely. And so, in terms of like, are you planning on staying on it for, the long run, or are you going to try to get off at some point? Like, what do you think?
I have not decided yet. I might, after I get to my 10 more pounds that I lose, maybe I've seen some people do it like every other week Possibly. I'm not too sure what I plan on doing. I think I'm just gonna listen to my body and just see where it goes.
Yeah. I think that for me, like I've tried to get off twice and gained the weight back. And so I think that for me it's just gonna be on it, even if it's like every other week or something, or if at some point my insurance pays for the 2.5, like I might go to that. But yeah, it's probably just gonna be part of my life from now on. Especially as because I'm gonna go into menopause and things are not gonna get better for me.
No, and
Yeah.
I heard that it might help too. So
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So, what would you want to share with somebody who's just getting started?
first shot does not hurt as much as you think it will be. I was terrified. I have like a fear of needles. So that was like one thing that really held me back from getting on a GLP-1 a little bit sooner. I actually, when I donated plasma one time, I passed out with the needle on me. So I was like, I've been terrified of needles ever since. So, and I do my own shot. So I'm like, after the first week, you realize it's just a little pinch. It's really nothing. I think I've just worked myself up too much. And then making sure I get enough protein in my electrolytes. I always do that right before my shot, like 30 minutes. And I felt like that has helped with my symptoms too, where I'm not so tired that day or the next
Hmm.
day. But besides that, just being consistent and understanding if you don't see results right away too, it's you're prepping your body for something. It's
Right.
also we struggle with their weight for
Right. I think,
so many years, and it takes time. It took you 10 years to gain that weight. It's going to take you maybe a year or two to lose it.
right. I think that the impatience is what I'm trying to like get people to like let go of. Like, you didn't gain this overnight. You're not going to lose 10 pounds the first week. I mean, maybe some people do,
Mhm.
like some people start, they're very overweight and even just like cutting back a little bit helps them lose a lot of weight because they have a lot to lose. But for most people, it's better to just take it slow. So that's the message I'm trying to get across. But people are stressed out. People are stressed out about this thing and whether they're losing or not. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Exactly.
take your time. It's all right.
It's okay. It's like also, I feel like we just live I said, I think we just live in a society that it's always instant gratification, like fast food, everything we want it now. Like social media, it's all endorphins and dopamine that we go through. So we expect if we change it for 1 week, we want to see the results for a month. Like,
Yeah. No, definitely. And it's hard to be patient. I know that when you have a lot of weight, it's like depending on where you are, like you can be in a lot of pain and you cannot be living the life that you want to be living and you want to like get that moving. Like, I get it. I get the stress about it, but also you got to think about your health a little bit. So, awesome. Any final thoughts for yeah, any final thoughts for the listeners and the GLP-1 users of how they could be successful on this?
I think just having a good support system too, like even on the hard days, even if you eat a little extra greasy food or something, like don't get so hard on yourself on that. Where I would always feel guilty even before GLP-1, like if I ate a higher calorie food or going out with a friend, I would always like punish myself in a sense of I can't really eat that much the next day. I mean, so it's understanding and giving yourself grace in basically your relation with food, like you're kind of healing that in a sense. So it takes time understanding why some of us overeat sometimes to like cope with emotions for me personally. So I felt like understanding and processing a lot of different emotions helped me also lose weight on top of the GLP-1, where it's like I can rather
Mhm.
speak my truth instead of hiding with
Right. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And, you know, I commend you for sharing, your journey and all the positive things that have come from it because I'll be honest, it's hard for me to find people who want to come on to talk about it. So I really am appreciative of you coming on and sharing and giving your advice.
just like to share their journeys on just different things that are a little bit taboo. Like sometimes it's with food and we feel such like a huge guilt on it where we don't really like to talk to people that we have issues with food. I think it's really important to just, yeah, I do struggle with emotionally eating or I do struggle with um kind of food I eat because we are especially nowadays you go to the grocery store 90% all sugar. Like we're very highly addicted to processed foods and that's just how the United States is. Like you go out of the country, the foods not that addicting. They actually have cleaner ingredients. Like we're set up for failure and it's okay if we do struggle with food. I think that's really
Yeah, I agree, and I think this give us an opportunity to really take a step back,
Mhm.
so and figure out where we wanna be and how we wanna nourish ourselves, so, anyway, thank you so much for being here, I really, really appreciate your time, and, I wish you luck on your new journey, your new endeavor, and everything that you're gonna accomplish now.
Thank you so much for having me too. I love sharing my journey.
Yeah, no
I think it's very important. Bye.
thank you so much for listening to this episode of the GLP-1 Hub podcast. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Bryana's story and the changes that she made throughout her journey to help her start a whole new career because of a GLP-1. And be sure to check out the Me Again app. I really think that they are doing a great job in focusing on the right nutrients and not all the other things that we like to worry about. So I encourage you to go and check out that app and be sure to leave a review if you are enjoying the show. And I'll see you in the next episode.